Hello, class. Welcome to today's topic, which will be Sigmund Freud theory, psychosexual theory of development. I believe this is a theory that each and every parent, more so mothers, ought to understand or ought to know so that they may know the stages of their children's growth and also to understand why their children behave the way they behave. So, the psychosexual theory of development proposes that human development occurs in distinctive stages, and each stage is characterized by the focus of libidinal energy on different erogenous zones of the body. Libidinal energy. This is a word that comes from the word libido, and the word libido refers to the sexual urge. The erogenous zones of the body, these are areas of the body that are particularly sensitive to sexual stimulation and can elicit pleasurable sensations. Such areas include the oral zone, which is the mouth, the anal zone, which is the bladder and the bowel area, and the anus, the phallic zone, which could be around the penis area, the genital zone. For girls, it's the vaginal area. For boys, it's the area around the penis. So, Freud had 5 stages of his theory, and the first stage is the oral stage, which is usually from 0 to 1 years. 0 to 1 years meaning right from birth. Here, the source of pleasure and tension reduction is usually the mouth, and that's why anytime you give a child something or when they grasp something, the first place they take it to is the mouth. So they derive pleasure from sucking, biting, and exploring objects with their mouth. And during this stage, the effects could be an individual's dependency, aggression, and oral fixation. And if there are unresolved conflicts, probably you are too harsh to the child. Every other time you are maybe hitting your hand so that you cannot suck or bite. Probably in future that child can become a nail biter, a chain smoker, or even overeat, which could actually lead to many more health problems. The second stage is the anal stage. Here, the pleasure shifts to the anal region as the children start to gain control over their bowel movements. Here, it's around the time that you teach your child how to use the toilet, but we first begin with potty training. Freud argues that conflicts, that is, if you are very strict or harsh around the toilet training, probably you could lead to your child's personality traits such as orderliness, stubbornness, obsessive cleanliness, or messiness. Here you find the child could be, if you could be harsh to them and they eventually become a very clean person and a very orderly person. Or if you are too tough on them also, the child can become stubborn or even become a very messy person. The third stage is the phallic stage. Here, the development of sexual curiosity and awareness of gender differences happens. For the boys, we call it the Oedipus or Oedipus complex, and for the girls, it's the Electra complex. During this stage, children experience unconscious sexual desire for the opposite sex parent and view the same sex parent as a rival. You can just imagine. Your baby girl prefers the daddy, and your baby boy prefers to be with the mom always. And sometimes probably you are trying to be intimate or even have give a kiss to your partner and then your child comes in between because he or she does not want that to happen. But it's just a stage and sooner or later they outgrow it. So successful resolution of this stage involves identification with the same sex parent. So later, once the child is past 6 years, She can identify herself with either the father or the mother, depending on the gender. The fourth stage is the latency stage, which is usually 6 to 12 years. This stage is characterized by a temporary suppression of sexual interests and a focus on intellectual and social pursuits. So here you find girls form cliques with girls or become friends with girls, boys become friends with boys, and they engage in activities that enhance their skills and knowledge. Here you find, even if it's playing, there will be games for boys and games for girls. And even when it comes to studying, you find them they prefer to study in the same sex groups. The last stage is the genital stage, which is usually 12 years and onwards. This is the where the individual's sexual desires become focused on others in a mature and adult manner. So here you may find your son coming to tell you, Mom, or dad, I have seen a girl and I'm attracted to her. Or your daughter tells you there's this boy that I'm falling in love with, but it's up to you as a mother or a father to guide them on how to go through such relationships. And yes, it begins early in the 12 years and onwards. So it's up to you to guide your child. Freud believes that unresolved conflicts from earlier stages could resurface and influence behavior and personality in adulthood. Here you may find probably a child becomes obsessive. They don't want to share probably the person they think they are in love with any other person. Successful navigation of the previous stages leads to development of a healthy adult personality, the capacity for intimate relationships, and the ability to engage in meaningful work. So you find if they find a partner, they can stick to one partner and they are even able to work well in their workplaces. Thank you. That will be the end of our class today. See you next time. Bye.